banks and banks of humming machinery. I've never seen so many knobs. Here, try that button over there. No. Check that button over there.
This is a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe that was being thrown away because it didn't work. What happened with it was there was a really low distorted output. So I brought it home, looked at it. My first thought was the output tubes didn't have any. That's why I could really use a tube tester, but I don't get enough tube stuff in yet at this point to justify the cost. But anyhow, a friend of mine had some, so I just waited till I could get those from him to give a try. Put them in, same issue. I did notice when I got his in that the filament on one of them wasn't lighting up. So I put the stock ones back in that came with it, and one of the filaments wasn't lighting up again. So it turns out this did have an intermittent fault, which turned out to be a trace or a solder joint right here for the filament pin for this particular tube. So I got that soldered up, works great. You know, I was showing a burn point underneath, so it looked like that had been happening for a while. So that worked, but I was still getting low output. So I got a copy of the schematics, had a look, and started checking the voltages throughout. Everything was checking out fine. I couldn't find any smoking gun. Checked my plate resistors, voltage to all of the tubes, everything checked out perfectly. So I was at a complete loss, and then I decided I was just going to try the other speaker. I tested the speaker, and I plugged it in, and I plugged it into the one that it hadn't been plugged into, and suddenly it worked. I went, wait a minute. Yep, it was plugged into the external. It was plugged into the external speaker jack. That was the whole reason that we had low output. It had other issues. The bias was completely out of whack, so I've got the bias set right now. The filament issue has been taken care of. It was really dirty, so I was going to go ahead and go through and clean the whole thing. And it also had a fault in the reverb. The reverb tank wasn't working, so I'm going to show a picture of that somewhere while I'm talking. That was just a loose wire, so that's soldered up. The reverb tank is now working. Everything was working. Going to get it cleaned up because I'm giving it to a friend of mine who has the matching speaker, but uses a different amp when he's performing. So this is going to give him the matching set basically when he's up on stage. Go to clean it up, and I'm a complete and total idiot, and I forgot the chicken head knobs have a set screw, and this is why I wish I had been filming this repair, but again, new to YouTube, so I forgot to film everything. Yeah, so I tried to pull them off, and I tried to pull many of them off before I went, duh, there's a set screw. So I broke almost every single potentiometer on this, and then I looked at the cost of replacing them and went, you know what, let's see if I can fix them. So I showed a little video you're going to see now of my attempt to fix it, and I did manage to fix it. Every single one of these potentiometers is now working perfectly. So hopefully this video, when you're watching this, you will scream in horror at the fact that I messed them all up and think I'm a complete idiot, which I was. But this has given me the opportunity to learn how to repair a potentiometer. I've never really opened one up and made that attempt. So this might help someone else who runs into one of these amps that has been abused in a similar way. Someone's tried to yank the knobs off or something like that, and you will now have a video to see how to fix it. And it's really not that hard. So you can go through the whole thing and with me, and I'm going to go through repairing a single one of them. But it was the same repair on all of them. And like I said, they work perfectly. It's as if I had never done it to begin with. So yeah, hopefully this ends up helping someone out. These chicken head knobs have a set screw. Completely forget, because you've been working on so much other audio gear, that you tried to yank them off, and now you've just destroyed potentiometers in this amp that you just had gotten working. So I'm going to yank this out. I know it's a tight working space right now, but I'm going to pull these tabs back. And you'll see exactly what I did to this poor potentiometer. Ooh, gotta be working down there. Come on. Should be able to get it off now. I should move this up a little bit. There we go. A little bit more. That hurts. Flatten those out. So, see, this is loose. This piece right in here, this piece right in here has popped off. And I'm just going to pop it the rest of the way. Of course it goes flying. Alright. Taking a little hunk of sandpaper, and we're going to go through, clean up this, while staying kind of away from the parts. Just trying to smooth down this. The end of this was mushroomed a little bit, I'm sure, at the factory to help hold this all together. Would have been more helpful if they mushroomed at this point and locked the shaft into place, but that's not what they did. That little piece of plastic was what was holding this shaft into place. So that was your weak point, failure. So if you think about it, mistake, now learned how to repair one of these potentiometers. So make sure they go here, make sure we're lined up. This piece needs to be there. Slides on. Yep. Slid right back on. There you go. Make sure it's on there nice and tight. And that should do it. I'm going to straighten these out a little bit. No idea. Yeah. Move this up even more. Sorry if the camera angles have sucked. This is where it would be very helpful to have someone here helping me film this stuff. At least I get the angles right. Just want to straighten these out, make sure it goes back together easily. Alright. This piece, this little tabby tab in here goes to the top and prevents this from going too far around. That's what this part is. Let's get that back into place. Now let's bend these back over. So just hold it in. Use the screwdriver to get it started. I got a weird angle, so maybe you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Takes a little bit of effort. Just need to hook up to one leg. Nothing. 92, but my meter is not perfect. Yeah, it's giving a smooth readout. This one's repaired. Let's get it back into place. And here's where I messed up and started the camera thinking it wasn't started, and then I stopped it thinking I was starting it, so I didn't actually film putting that potentiometer back into place. My bad. Don't mind the poor videography, but you know, I'm still learning that part too. So hope this helps someone, and I'll see you in the next video.